Hey everyone, Sarah Whitten of Sarah Whitten Voice and Yoga, and I wanted to make a video to share with you my all-time favorite yoga pose, which is Reclining Big Toe Pose. So you'll need a strap or a belt. You could also use a towel. You might be able to reach your toes, but probably not, and that's fine. So grab your strap and then come and lie down on your mat. And you can begin by just hugging your knees into your chest. You'll let your low back round into the floor. The pelvis will kind of come up. Just give your knees a squeeze. Then let the knees begin to move away from the body until you feel some space come in the low back, so it's not rounded and flat into the floor, but you can feel a natural curve there. And then let your feet come down. Start by putting the strap around the ball of your foot. You don't want it around the arch or around the heel, but all the way up here so you can use it to help bring the toes closer. Then extend your other leg out on the ground. And you want to have this leg in a place where you can feel the hamstring down on the ground, so you might need to move your knee away from your body to get it there. Then go ahead and straighten your leg up towards the ceiling. Walk your hands up until your arms are straight and loop the strap around your hands. So just stay right here. You'll see I can bring my leg farther up towards my head, but what happens is that this other leg pulls up off the floor. Because I don't have the mobility in my hips for that to happen, this leg starts to compensate. And when it does that, I'm missing out on the benefit of stretching in a way that actually helps the hamstrings and the calves. So let this leg come where it needs to be for this hamstring to be on the floor. And for you, that may mean that your leg is almost all the way down on the floor or anywhere in this sort of spectrum on the way up. So be honest with yourself about where your leg needs to be and hang out there. You can think about bringing the toes closer to your nose and stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Then you can bring that leg down and we'll switch and put the strap around the ball of the other foot. Bring this leg out on the floor, checking again to be sure that the hamstring is down, and then extending the leg up. Again, walk your leg where it needs to be, that you have that hamstring down on the ground and you can feel the natural curve of your low back. So you haven't tucked your pelvis by pulling the leg too far up. This one comes up and the low back flattens. Your arms are straight and you just stay here and breathe. So if you can't figure out how to bring the toes towards your nose, sometimes thinking about pressing your heel towards the ceiling is a good way to do that. That will intensify the stretch that you're going to feel in your calf and maybe in your hamstring as well. So once you've been here, we can go back to the first side, bring that leg up, get yourself into the pose in the right way, and then hold the strap in one hand, take your other hand and put it on your hip. We're going to keep the hips still, but drop this leg across the body. You may go maybe a millimeter or, a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch before the outside of your leg is going to start to talk to you. And you want to pause when you feel like you found enough sensation. If you've had a hip replacement, don't do the cross the body motion because you don't have that in your hip anymore. You have this front to back motion. And you don't want to let yourself roll up. We're not looking to drop all the way across the body. We just want to get the leg to move in the hip socket. So stay here and then we'll switch sides. Again, holding the strap in one hand and bring the other hand to your hip and then slowly dropping across the body on this side. So what I like about Reclining Big Toe Pose is that it's a great way to stretch out the backs of your legs without taxing your low back. Very often our low backs bother us because the backs of our legs are tight. But if you do a forward bend to try and stretch the backs of your legs and you don't have the right mobility in your hips, you end up hurting your low back more. So this is a pose that's really accessible to everyone, makes a big difference in the back of your legs, and it's not going to aggravate your low back. So give it a try and see how you feel.